Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. I'm so excited to talk about turning followers into fans through community nurturing. As you all know, we love community topics. So, of course, we are so excited for this one. And of course, I'm joined by my very special guest, Bruna. So, we're very excited to have you all here today. And as you all know already, you already know what I'm going to ask. Let us know where you're joining from in the chat. I love when people just start telling me without saying it. That just shows me you've come to some of these before. Love it. But yes, we'd love to see where you're all joining from. I see we have Texas, Windsor, Chicago, Toronto, Delaware.
Montreal, yay!
Montreal. Love it. Tampa. Oh, BKN. Love it. Love
Ooh.
it. So happy you're here. Amazing. So many familiar names in the chat. We love it. So thank you so much for sharing where you are joining from. And yes, big shout out to Bruno's microphone. The best
This is the
microphone.
star of the webinar, actually.
It's so nice. We love it. And now we're all going to have to get one. So yes, we love it. And people in the chat love it too.
I'm so glad everyone liked my production value.
So good. All right. Well, keep sharing where you're joining from in the chat, and I will dive right into everything. So if you found this webinar maybe on LinkedIn, maybe someone sent it to you, and you're not quite sure what HeyOrca is, we are a social media management tool for teams and agencies. So we're here to assist you with all of your social media scheduling and all that kind of stuff. And my favorite part is we have unlimited users, which is awesome. So your whole team can be in there and you don't have to pay extra, which is great. And also follow us on social if you don't already. It's at HeyOrca. And there's actually a really funny video that we put out a few days ago. Natalie, who's in the chat, she pranked us a few weeks ago when we were together. And she did, the trend where you bring a photo of someone that you found on Facebook? Yeah, like the really old photo.
I love it.
She did that to us, and it was so funny, and it's my favorite video that we've made. So go check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's very funny. Shout out Natalie. That was a very good prank. And we'll do a quick round of intros. So my name is Alyssa, and I'm a community strategist here at HeyOrca. So I work on our webinars, our newsletter, Facebook group, all that kind of stuff. And I'll pass it over to Bruna to introduce himself.
So hi, everyone. My name is Bruna. I am the content marketing specialist at Cyberimpact. My job is kind of similar to Alyssa's. I feel like we're twins in that note because I do newsletter, I do the social media content mostly, I do the videos. So if you ever see our social media, you'll see my face up there because I am the person that wants to do videos and who's always filming. And I do a lot of our content strategy, and I love that. It's the thing that I love the most, and I'm so happy that I was hired to do exactly that.
Yay. Yes, we're so excited to have you. And I got to meet Bruna a few weeks ago at the social media HeyOrca community summit. And it was so nice to meet each other in person and then now be on the webinar together, because usually I don't get to meet our guests face to face. So very cool that we got to meet.
We met first and then I was a guest.
I know. I love it. It's great.
I felt like I was meeting a social media personality because the newsletter, I'm a fan. This is my prompt to go talk to Alyssa. Like, I love the newsletter. How do you do that? That was it because I'm a fan.
I love it. I love it. And yes, and we have some comments in the chat here. Bruna is the best. Love that.
Oh my God. Yes, I am from Brazil, Camila.
I love it. Oh, and Jen says, I remember you guys from Social East last year.
Oh, I'm so glad you remember us and you were in Social East. We'll be there again. Well, in all the social next events every year. So yeah, I see some people from Montreal. Thank you so much. And whoever asked, this is the mic. I see the mic is a big hit. This is the HyperX mic. Please sponsor me. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's like $100 mic. I use it for podcasts. I use it for all the webinars, all the video recordings. It's great quality. Like there's a construction happening somewhere around here. You hear nothing. I love it. It's really good. It's worth it.
I think you've sold a lot of us on it.
Check the, okay, there you go.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, you'll see in the future, we're all going to start having them, and we should do it every time. Awesome. And I see in the chat, where did it go? That Kevin says hello. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello and welcome. Awesome. Okay, so many familiar names in the chat. We love it. I love when that happens.
I do get an affiliate link. Yes, Rebecca, you're right. I should get an affiliate link for this. I am sending them an email after this webinar. Thank you.
Yes, you need to. You need to, because I think you've sold a lot of us on it. So love it. Awesome. And before we dive into all the things that we're going to learn today, of course, we have our giveaway. So you have two different ways to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So the first way is so easy. We have a poll going on our LinkedIn. All you have to do is go over there, vote on the poll, and you're automatically entered. So super easy. The second way you can win is actually telling us what you learned in this webinar on LinkedIn and tagging us. So since creating a LinkedIn post takes a little longer, obviously, than voting on a poll, you have until Tuesday for this. So at Tuesday, we will be picking the winner. And a little hack is that if there's a slide that really resonates with you, maybe it has a lot of really good stuff on it, take a screenshot and just put it on LinkedIn. It's perfect. So two different ways to win that Amazon gift card. But I will now put up our other slides and I will pass it over to Bruna. I'm very excited.
Okay, I'm excited for these slides. I am going to focus on them. So if you talk in the chat, please, Alyssa, let me know, because I do talk a lot as a good Brazilian. So the idea of this webinar, the pitch is how to turn followers into fans through community nurturing. But that also means I think people don't care about what I'm posting. People don't like my content. What do I do? Because we've all been there as marketers, as social media managers, as people who work with content. That little thing in the back of your head that keeps you updating your status. You keep updating the page, just check. It's like, okay, I have 100 views. I have 120. Okay, now I have 125. Okay, this is slower. People don't care. People don't like it. My content sucks. I know we've all been there, and it's okay. We'll get through it together. Let me do a bigger introduction here. I actually learned this from Kevin from BKN Creative from the Community Summit. So he made a really cool slide introducing himself. So I did the same. My name's Bruna. Yes, it's like the song from Encanto. If anybody watched the Disney movie, we don't talk about Bruno. Exactly the same thing, but with an A at the end. So I am the content person. I've been hired to do this, and I've been doing this since ever. I started as a booktuber, so someone who talks about books online. I do that for about 8 years. In my heart, I still do it. So I started on YouTube in 2013, and I've been in marketing ever since. That's how I started in marketing. So I've always made videos. I am completely the video person. I love it. I always push for video on our content strategy meetings. I'm also a translator for books. I am also a huge nerd, and I read a lot. And I'm also an immigrant here in Montreal. I am from Brazil. I'm living here. I love Montreal. Yes, I do speak French-ish. No, I do speak French. And I'm really happy to be here in the unceded lands of the Kanien'kehá:ka people here in Jojake. I am also an indigenous person, by the way. Someone did a land acknowledgement in the chat. I really appreciate that. And let's get started with the
wait, I just have one question.
Yeah.
Since you were a book YouTuber, I need to know.
Okay.
What is your favorite book right now?
My favorite book for the past year or so has been Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. I had the pleasure of translating it to Brazil. It's being published right now. Wow. And I think Tommy Orange is one of the greatest writers that we have now. So whenever there's a list of like authors of the 21st century, like this guy has to be there, because the way that he writes, there's like a flow to it. It's beautiful. And I do think marketers have to read a lot, not just nonfiction, of course, to learn, but when we're writing fiction, we remember how people actually talk. So I think reading books makes me a better person and a better marketer because I remember how people are talking. Sometimes we get too caught up in, you know, robot talk and we forget how we are talking here and there. Sometimes that happens with languages. If you speak more than one language, you get caught up in the way that we say something in English and you forget how to say it in French and you forget how to say it in Portuguese. But yeah, Wandering Stars, prepare to weep. I
Okay,
am warning you already. You're going to weep.
I
Uh,
love that.
I
I
have
love
so
a book
many
that
book
makes me
recommendations.
cry.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love it. I love to cry when I'm reading a book. It just feels good. So I'm adding that to my list. And we have a few fans of the book actually in the chat as well. So
Yes.
thank you. And I think we're all adding it to our list if we haven't read it already.
Thank you so much. And I tell me later what you thought about the book because I need to discuss this book more with people. But talking about followers to fans, unfortunately, we cannot do the whole webinar about books, but if you want to, I can do that as well on my personal LinkedIn. No, but for real, so being a follower to fan, let's put it into book scales. When you see a book on the library, you're right in the beginning of the follower scale. You kind of acknowledge that it exists. You see there, you see the side of it, you might see the cover, but like, oh, okay, this is cute. Fine. Then you might have some people when it comes to your brand and your content, maybe they'll follow you and you have a big following, but you don't see that engagement. Some pages, some brands will see that like, oh, we acquired like 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers. And then you go see the engagements, like 5 people liking it and half of them work at the company, which is, I don't judge because we need those numbers to our reports at the end of the month. Then you have some people who engage sometimes. You have the people who will comment, who will share the stuff, that will like, okay, this is so cool. This is so exciting. This completely relates to me. And I have like a good example of this is Ian Evans on LinkedIn from TLDV. Every single post that this guy makes, I want to comment. I want to share my messages on Slack. It's all to like, CS, check out this video. Devs, check out this video. Product, check out this video because it's so relatable. And that's the sweet spot that we all want to reach, that people will actually engage with us and comment if they liked, even if they didn't like, but we have a comment giving us feedback. So we make a plan. And then it goes all the way to the mom level engagement. So there are some moms or relatives of some kind that will just be there for every single post. They'll like, they'll comment, they'll share, they'll do everything to make sure that you have that engagement. They'll click every single button that you have for engagement. So obviously, in the perfect world, we would have the mom level engagement, but this between the follows you and never engage, comments and shares your stuff, this is the sweet spot where you can grow your community. Even if they're not engaging, the fact that they're following you, they're just missing a hook, an opportunity to engage and move on into that scale. So I don't think I have to say a lot about why you need community, because I think you know this. If you follow HeyOrca, if you're not following, you should. You know that community is so important the past couple of years, but this year we've seen more and more. We have the statistics from McKinsey that 80% of consumers, they prefer brands that they feel connected to. So they need to have that shared value, that shared perspective, personality, whatever it is. It's not just about the pricing, the convenience, the contents of the product. It's not just the basic things that we expect from all companies in the competitive market that we have so far. We have right now. We choose the brands as consumers. We have to also remember we're all consumers of some sort. Like there's a reason you like this microphone here. Like, oh, I like the aesthetic of it. I like the feeling of it. It will make my desk feel nicer. Like you might not even care because it's a really good mic. Like I told you, it's a really good mic. It works for everything. I've had it for many years. It never broke down. These are all just, okay, then I'm sold. But just the aesthetic of it all, it already appealed to you. So as consumers, we're all getting that pull. Like, I'd rather go with this brand than this one. It's the same product, maybe a different price, but I'll go with this one because it matches what I believe in. So we're seeing this. It's clear as brands, as people who create content for brands, and as consumers, we're seeing this more and more. And one point that is really big for me, and I'm going to discuss this along this webinar and a lot at the end, is that social media is a rented space. I think it was Joe who mentioned this at the community summit, or he mentioned it because someone mentioned in another presentation, but I'm stealing it for a bit. Social media is rented space. We're using our profiles, our pages in a space that is not our own, that we don't have control. And for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been seeing the owners of these platforms go cuckoo. So when they go cuckoo, we go cuckoo because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to have the space in 6 months to a year. We don't know when a new one's going to come and it's going to replicate the same things, or it's going to be completely different. And we have to learn a whole new tool and develop a whole new calendar. When you have rented space, you got to have to go with the flow and figure it out. And when you have a community, which is on an own space, which is the big thing, the big point I want to make here, you have that control and that peace of mind. So first, let me ask you, why aren't people engaging with your brand? What do you think is happening? Do you think people are not engaging as much as they were in the past? It's just a timing thing. We've all been through the pandemic. The behavior, the way we consume content and we engage online has changed a lot in the past 5 or 6 years. Do you think that's what's happening in general? Do you think people don't know how to engage with you? Do you think your content sucks? Or you have no idea? What is the answer for you? Please send it in the chat. I see some people saying their content sucks. Please don't. That was a trick question.
Your content does not suck.
Yes, it never sucks. It was a trick to check who's not having a good day. Okay. I like that some people said A. I like some people said B. No idea. It's okay as well. Sometimes we have no idea. Alyssa, what do you think? What would be your guess here?
Why aren't people engaging with your brand? I would say probably B.
Yeah.
They just don't know. They don't know how.
Yeah. So in my belief, and from all I've been looking and researching, I think it's a little bit of both. So we have A and B. Some situations it could be A, some situations it could be B. But I think let's break it down first. And I promise the next slide is not someone breaking down dancing. I wanted to do that joke, but I was like, I have a lot to get through, but keep it in your mind. There's a point here of why people are engaging as much as they used to. There are two ways that we've been seeing people behave online. And when I say we've been seeing, as you go really deep into how people are interacting, if you really take a closer look at what kind of content is being created and actually what kind of content you're consuming the past few years, you might see that people are trying to get closer. They're trying to build more connections in a personal life. And I think that replicates when we're talking about B2B marketing, when we're talking connecting with brands. So people are either becoming apathetic and distant. They're doom scrolling. They're just like, I just want to go numb for a bit and just scroll and just see things that give me that dopamine hit. And you feel like, okay, this is fine. Okay, I can go back to doing what I was doing. But there's another side of people that are craving those connections, and they know that it's not going to happen in a comment section of a general post about a new flavor of soda or about a press announcement from a brand. That's not where they're going to find those communities. There was a really interesting post this week. What was his name? Michael DeHaley or something like this. I will share this later. But he was talking about this and how actually it's not about people leaving the online. People are still online, but they are simply going into private spaces. So when you see what Adam Mosery said, how teens are spending more time on Instagram, they're spending it on the DMs and not on stories. And if it's comparing stories to feed, they're going more into stories. I've said this to a lot of clients I had in the past when I was a freelancer. He was like, oh, I should post more on stories. I should post more on stories. It's like, yeah, sure. But that's where you're going to grow your community, where you're going to make those connections. That's not where you're going to get awareness. That's not when you're going to build your brand, like your following. That's where you deepen those connections. So you have to find a balance there. But we've been seeing that people, they might not want to just find people, they just want to connect to the brands or the people out there. And we have to shift our strategies as marketers to, from the get-go, have that space where people feel like they can comment, they can interact, and they'll be safe and welcome in there. To do that, we have to think about, why are people, did they not know how to engage? What I mean by this is not that they don't know there's a button there that they can follow, that they can click, that they can engage or whatever. Some audiences might need that push, actually, to like, hey, this is how you can interact with us. Hey, this is what you can do. But the main point I see where brands miss when it comes to creating, when it comes to people engaging, is that don't create opportunities for people to engage. That means there's no opening for people to engage. You just share your stuff and that's it. So if I were just here talking to you and just telling you a bunch of stuff, and I didn't have questions, or I didn't have Alyssa to go back and forth, we didn't have people engaging on the chat, this would be a one-way conversation. And that's how most of social media content is today. Brands do a lot of one-way conversation posts, and that's a mistake. Not all the posts have to be about engaging, and not all the posts have to be questions and open-ended questions and things, but you have to have some sort of balance there. The one thing I'll tell you is, don't be a 2010s YouTuber. If somebody was creating content or consuming a lot of content from YouTube since the 2010s, they'll understand what I mean. We had a bad practice of starting a video like, hey, my name is Bruna, welcome to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe here, like this video. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, Instagram. There are so many places, there are so many things for you to do, and you're not doing anything. Like, how often would you do all those things? Like, okay, let me stop watching this video and follow and comment and like the video and do all those things. No, don't give them homework. Give them something to do that actually they actually care about. One of the things that I'll like, and I'll do a little plug here for HeyOrca for free, is that I love the automated feature. I was so happy when it came out, because it's so practical, it's automated, and automation does not mean that you're losing that connection with your audience. It just means you're making your work easier, because in the end, you're not automating the connection you make, you're just automating a task. So do check it out. If you're using HeyOrca, check out the automated DM feature. I love it. I've been trying to find more opportunities to use it, because I think it's just so practical. So this is what I mean by people don't know how to engage. You have to create opportunities. Let me give you an example that I've created. So on the Cyberimpact platform, LinkedIn, is my whole life is that LinkedIn. Oh my God. So in some posts, I'll add a question at the bottom, and I'll say, hey, I cannot read this because it's so small on my screen and I need glasses. But I have a question at the bottom of one post, and the other one, I'm just sharing information. I'm just sharing the stuff. And obviously the one post with no question, it had way less engagement. It had way less likes even, because people just scroll, they see it's like, oh, interesting, and go down and continue to keep scrolling. When you have a question, at least you have that hook there. And I know what people might feel right now. It's like, okay, but I've tried adding questions. I've tried doing like, hey, comment this emoji if you also like this. And nobody engaged, or like a couple of people engage if you don't have a very big following or very engaged audience. And that's fine. But if you don't have questions, you're never going to get answers. It doesn't matter if nobody answers. It's still there. Sometime someone might find this post, and in the future you have to keep opening yourself up to these opportunities. It's like, okay, I'm not going to do questions anymore. Fine, I'm not going to engage anymore, because why would I engage? So I know it can be disheartening a little bit. It can be like, oh, I did a question, I did a survey, nobody answered. We keep going. We're social media content creators. We got to keep going. We got to keep creating those opportunities for people to engage with us and connect with us. in the level that they feel comfortable to. Maybe you're asking the wrong questions. Maybe you haven't found the right audience. It's not all on you also. Sometimes it's a timing, sometimes it's your audience. It doesn't relate to them as well. And sometimes it's not you, it's the data that you have. So don't feel burdened by this. Like, oh, I tried questions, not working. Keep going. Keep going. There are some options, some things that you can do to create those opportunities. So you can use the automated DM features. I think that's really cool. Obviously, those are going to be comments that are just like the prompt that you do. If you don't know what the automated DM is, you set it up and then you say, comment cute mic on my next post, and then I'll share with you the link to the mic. Okay, so you have a bunch of comments of people who want to get the link to the mic. Fine. Then what do is you go to those people's DMs a week later, a few days later. It's like, hey, did you get the mic? Did you like it? Have you tried it? And you start to build that relationship with them. This is why I like it so much. It's not just the sharing stuff that's automated, but you have those people who are really interested. You know they were interested, and you can open up a conversation with them. This is why this feature is so brilliant. And then you can move them up to the next step of the scale. So they interacted with you once. Okay, let's see if they will interact more. They're into the mics. So, hey, this is my whole webinar setup. These are the lights that I do. These are the tricks that I have. Let's see if they engage as well. And from them, you build that engagement, you build that relationship until you get to maybe mom level, maybe comments and shares. You don't have to go all the way to mom, by the way. It's fine. Not everyone has to be a mom. And like I said, when I said reading fiction reminds us that how people talk and not just marketing talk or LinkedIn talk, I'll say, because sometimes we make questions that nobody cares about. They're not real questions. We're just asking something for the sake of asking, but that question is not giving you data that you need to create better content. It's not giving you more details about your audience so you can perfect stuff. You're not giving you a hook for you to continue. If you're asking something that is like yes or no, like, okay, how do I keep the conversation going if the person just say yes or they say no? So think about those questions and would you say this to someone in an event, for instance? In a real event, would you ask them about this in a conversation? Because otherwise, you're wasting your energy trying to come up with questions that only the LinkedIn algorithm would really like. And then be specific about what will happen if they engage. So when you do the automated feature, it's cool because like, hey, reply this and I'll send you this link. Hey, comment in the section. What do you think about this? Let's talk more about it. Or I would love to hear someone's perspective on this so I can learn from it. Give clear instructions, because sometimes the lack of knowing how to engage is also just like, okay, why would I engage? Why would I comment? Because they don't care. Like this brand does not care what I have to say. So you have to open up and create. That's what I mean by creating a space that people care about. And these are the little things that you do. I know it sounds very abstract. I'll give you some examples in a minute. So what I want to say about creating those spaces, this is the whole point. I'll discuss it more at the end. We're going on a path here. It's working. We're doing it. We're going to be on time. We're going to start with comments and direct DMs. Like I said, go in the comment section is not where we're going to go community. It might start there. It might start with some interactions. You remember someone's name. You remember someone's photo. Like, oh, they've been commenting for a while. That's cool. Then you level it up and you take them to Facebook groups like HeyOrca did with the Facebook group there for marketers. You may create an Instagram channel where people can interact more often. But at the end game, on my perspective, is that you have to go to own spaces. It can be an email list, or it can be own spaces in different platforms, like creating a Slack channel for your community, or a Discord or Circle. Those are all platforms where you can create closed communities. They can be free, they can be paid, however you want to work, depending on your brand or your needs. But I'll go into email lists because I'm biased. We love email. Me personally, I always liked email as a solution. There's someone in the chat here who's known me since my beginning of my career in marketing, and she knows I've always pushed to email. Always try to create an email list because I think it's so practical. why email is the best way to go? Please tell me in the chat, how did you sign up for this webinar? It
I'm
wasn't with your Instagram handle.
yeah.
It wasn't with your Snapchat something QR. I don't know. I don't know. I don't use Snapchat anymore. Everybody has to have an email to be in any platform, whatever it is. It has to have an email. Everybody here, please tell me, how often do you check your email every day or a week? Everybody here is checking their emails, unfortunately, multiple times a day. And everyone can have access to someone else's inbox following the right procedure. But being open, someone opening their inbox to you is beautiful. It's a sign of trust. To get someone's email contact is a real sign of trust. This is why it's hard for people when they're looking for jobs. They want to get that contact to talk to someone. When they're looking to hire someone, it's like, oh, I have this contact here. Connection is everything. And when you have someone's email address in your list, in your community, that is a big sign of trust that you're going to have a real conversation. It's not going to be something that you share to the entire world and they don't care about. Even if you're doing one email to 5,000 people, 10,000 people, it feels more personal and you can make it more personal in so many ways. So one of my favorite things about email is the segmentation. This is what you can do with it. You can do small groups, like real small groups, and small will be relative to whoever. If you're an agency, it can be groups based on industry. You can do a group for your clients from one region. You can do a group for clients in another region. You can do one for clients who are managed by this account manager, the ones who are for the other one. Or if you're doing email marketing for your clients, there's so many options out there depending on the industry. And for each one of those groups, you shared tailored content. Oh, but I have to create a lot more stuff then. If I have like 5 different groups, I'll have to create content for each one of those groups. Isn't that more work than just posting on social media? Yes, but isn't there work that will actually get you conversions and the results you're looking for instead of shooting blanks and hoping that someone will comment on your post? Think about that for a second. So, also, yes, it is work, but thankfully, platforms like Cyber Impact and other platforms, we develop a lot of features that will help you update your list automatically. So, like when you have dynamic groups, and I think you're seeing this image bigger than I am. And I hope my director of product is not watching this because I am not sure of the number, but I do believe there's more than 20 ways that you can set up a criteria for your dynamic groups on Cyber Impact. And that's not counting custom fields. So you can do it by first name, last name, location, language. Um, you can do by industry, company size, gender, however you want it. And then in the custom fields, you can create a lot more. Let me go on so you can see an example. Sorry, let me mention this. I love this. And this is a cute example. You can continue to have that kind of social media like engagement on email marketing with micro surveys and other features to keep people engaged. So, micro surveys are basically doing polls, surveys on your email. And this is a cute example because this is Bixi. This is a bike sharing app, a company that we have here in Montreal. There are clients. We love them. They love us. It's a very healthy relationship. And I love their emails. I love Bixi as a service. I love bike sharing, but I love their emails, their automations. Everybody in the office is so happy when it's like, oh, let's look at Bixi's automation because they really do a very segmented work with all their contacts. And you can go really deep. In, for example, here they're asking people's opinions about a giveaway that they did. They are constantly collecting data from their audience and seeing, should we do more giveaways? There's no need to shoot blanks and just guess. Just use the features that you have at hand to learn about your audience. And this, you're doing your own space. So everyone will see this survey. Everyone opens an email. Everyone will receive it. Everyone will have the opportunity to see it and then click it. And then it's not just posting it and hoping that the lifespan at the moment that you post it and then that the algorithm will push it to the people and then it will actually reach the people you want it to reach, and then they'll answer. There's a lot of variables over there for you to have the results. Here, you send it to the people who knew about the giveaway because they received the previous email, and the people that you actually care that they're saying if they like it or not. Let's say they can be subscribers to the service or not subscribers to the service. If you don't care what non-subscribers say about this, you just send it to the subscribers. This is the kind of segmentation that social media cannot keep up when it comes to email. Yes, it's becoming more and more about sharing to people what they want to see. We often see it as the algorithm is against us as marketers, as content creators and everything. It's not about how they're pushing our content, is what people are consuming, but also is what they're consuming and what the ads can be placed there, because in the end, social media, it's all about pushing those ads. So it's not helping us if we're not doing a bunch of ads, but it's also not against us itself. Sometimes they are, but it's not that. We have to think smarter on how we push our content to the right people. And to do that, we need to have less variables. And the algorithm is a huge variable for our work. Another example, this is what your audience can see when you're doing segmented content, when you're doing segmented email lists. So let's say someone's vegetarian, someone's gluten-free. This is a restaurant that serves a vegetarian menu. It's very important. But then this is a good example because we have a lot of gluten-free people at the office. And this was actually done by our director of customer service who is celiac, so he doesn't eat gluten. So it's a very personal example to him. So if he sees an email with a bunch of pita breads, it's like, oh, it's a nice menu, but then I'm going to have to ask for changes. And it's like, oh, I'm going to be sick afterwards. Like, no, I know that he doesn't eat gluten, so I can do exactly that. So this is what you would see. You would create a list for the restaurants. Like, this is a summer menu. I want everyone who is in Canada, because it's a restaurant in Canada, I want them to be vegetarian, but I also want them to be gluten-free. These are custom fields you can add to your list. You can completely customize this. If it's gluten, if it's a restaurant, if it's traveling, if it's construction, whatever industry you can think of, I cannot imagine not segmenting your list. Obviously, some people will do one newsletter, a huge list, and send it to everyone. That's okay too. You can use dynamic blocks and make that more customizable with one email. But I'm very big on segmenting. So let me give you an example of what that looks like in our context at Cyber Impact. So we're always changing and improving our own segmentation because we're an email marketing company. So we have to have a good email marketing strategy. So when it comes to segmenting, here's an idea of what you can do. You can do it based on subscription source. So we have new users on a platform, someone who started a new account, but they stopped, someone who downloaded a resource that we have, the State of Email Marketing, someone who registered for a webinar, or a QR code in the presentation. All these people, they came from different places. So the relationship they have with our brand is completely different. It can be completely different. It can be the same. But someone who downloaded the State of Email Marketing because they found it online, maybe they don't have as close of a relationship with us as someone who scanned the QR code at an event presentation because they already talked to our team who was at the event. They're not the same as people who are already new users because they're already using our platform. So there are different strategies of how you can approach each one of these people and to convert them in the way that you see fit. So new users, we don't need them to buy the platform, to buy the service because they're already there. But maybe we want them to have a close relationship with us because we want to do a case study, or we want them to change to a different plan. So each one of them will be a different strategy. We're a bilingual company. We're in Canada, so we have English and French. We're actually based in Terrebonne, which is a city close to Montreal in Quebec. So we're a French-first company. So we do have an English newsletter, a French newsletter. We are not sending the same thing to both audiences. Like, we are sending an English newsletter to the English audience. We're sending a French newsletter to the French audience. It will not work if we send all French to clients in the US, in Ontario and BC, and it will not work if we send English to French Ontarians in Quebec. It definitely not help our brand reputation. And there's There's so many options. I'm not going to go through each one of these because you can see, and I'm sure you've taken a screenshot by now, and I'm not sure if we're sharing the presentation afterwards. We can, if it's okay with Alyssa and the team. But there are so many chances they have to customize your. This is all customizing your consumer experience, your customer experience. I'll give you another example. I love to do the travel example. For a long time, we keep doing travel agency as an example. I'm like, how many travel agencies really are? I'm sure there's still a bunch, but it's like travel agencies is such an example. But anyways, let's say it's a hotel, and then a hotel you can segment this obviously by location, so you can know if your audience came from BC, from Ontario, from Quebec, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, whatever. I love people thinking about how you segment this by travel group. So if you're traveling by yourself, you definitely have different priorities than someone who's traveling with a 3-person family, a 4-person family, a 5 or plus person family. If you're traveling with friends, all of these are different experiences. And sometimes you serve one group better than the other, and that's fine. But you have to make sure that you're serving them right and not trying to please everyone. Nothing good comes from trying to please everyone in personal life or marketing. So, this is why segmentation is beautiful. I loved also this travel priorities. Some people they care about budgeting. They care about cheap air tickets, the promotion, sales, whatever. Some people they don't care about this. Some people they want comfort and luxury. If you're pushing a budget option to someone who's like, oh no, luxury traveling, expensive, whatever, all inclusive, who they don't care about this, there's a different vibe. It doesn't click. It doesn't work. So you have to think of all this, and all this comes from when you think your community first, when you put your audience, their needs, their priorities first. So this is why I'm going to do the little plug here for Cyber Impact, because we're made for agencies and small companies and small businesses. We have like HeyOrca, unlimited users. You can send unlimited emails, and it's a multi-account access. So if there's someone here who's in an agency, I think there's a lot of agencies over here, you can have multiple accounts connected to your own account, to your agency account. And then you don't have to keep logging in, logging off, logging in, logging off. You can share templates. You can share a lot of information. So this just makes it so much easier. Like I said, bilingual customer service, phone, chat, email. We have onboarding, which is a big thing. Nobody wants to have a whole strategy and then, oh, it's so pretty and organized. Now we are switching platforms and I have to upload all those CSV. You don't have to do this. We'll do it for you. We'll talk with our sales team. You can get a personalized tour with Pam. You can see Pam there. She's so cute. You can get a personalized tour with her, and she'll talk about the onboarding services that we have. It's a team. It's not a one person who's overwhelmed. It's a whole team that will help you through this process. And when you're talking about other competitors, I'm not going to name names. You know who they are. You can save up to 50% when you switch to Cyber Impact, if that's a big thing for you. If the budget is a big thing for you, it's a lot of savings when you switch to our platform. And I love email. Also, there's a thing. It's not on the slide, but I wanted to mention. Email is like I said, it's a place where you own, where you have more control. And I saw a post this week on LinkedIn. I was just doom scrolling on LinkedIn because now that's a thing that I do. And I found this post. Someone made a video talking about how when you work with marketing and social media, it's very hard to let go of all the things that we put out because we're often judging our work with other work. Like when I do a post, I'll go on LinkedIn, I see someone else posting on their brand. It's like, oh, they did this. Oh, this is so cool. I should have done this. Oh no, what if my boss sees like, oh, why are we doing this? And we constantly compare ourselves with other content, other creators, other brands, and that noise gets in the way. It gets in the way of our mental health as marketers and creators. It gets in the way of our work because we get stuck creatively thinking, should I keep doing what I'm doing? Should I be doing what they're doing? But I have no idea if that actually works because I'm not seeing their data and I don't know their audience. So I'm just thinking this is cool, but would it work for my audience? Email, you're in your own space. you create, you test, you have the data, and you go for it. And you just send it. You're not seeing other emails being sent. You're not seeing the people's inboxes. You don't know what else they're receiving. You just know that they trusted you enough to give you their email address, and they're somewhat looking forward to hearing from you, to hear what you promised them you would send when they gave you that email. So I think email marketing kind of mutes the noise, and you can focus on this, and it's way more targeted. And considering how much marketers and agencies and all we have to do to be at the consistent level, it's not even the excelling level, to consistently talk to people, consistently be a marketer, to be able to call ourselves marketers, we're overdue for silencing some noise. And that's why I love working with email marketing, because I can just focus on this channel, and I don't compare myself with other things that I'm seeing. I know this format. I have a lot of data about my audience, what they like, what they click, what they don't click, and then I can go from there. So I do, this is the my personal take on why I think so email marketing is a good investment on when it comes to building a community and creating that closer relationship with people. So thank you for listening to me for 40 plus minutes here. I would love to hear your questions and talk a little bit more about this if we have the time. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. You're great at presenting, so thank you so much. I learned a lot. We do have one question here. Can you provide a brand example of maybe someone who is showing their audience how to engage?
Oh my God, I don't have it at the easy as that. Well, I do think HeyOrca is doing an interesting job doing that, because you always have a hook. If you want to engage, like if you're interested in knowing more, uh, go to the newsletter. Like I think in general, you're pulling people to engage often. I think the work that you do is actually really well, because you're not always pushing people to sign up to the platform. You're not always pushing people to go to the newsletter. You're finding that rhythm. Like here's where we want people to share their ideas. Here's where we want people to sign up. Like even here on the webinar, being here on this webinar, you have the hook of like, okay, let's share on LinkedIn what you learn, share with us. If you have a community offline or off social, actually, not offline, off social, that is a prompt for people to engage, because they're going to be sharing on LinkedIn. They're going to tag the company is going to engage with them. If this is the first time you're seeing Hey Orca, is like, oh, this is really cool. They gave me a prompt. So now I did my weekly LinkedIn post. So that's done. That's cool. And their logo's cute. It's a whale, and then you start building that relationship, and then there's the whole strategy behind it. But there's definitely a lot of brands that are doing this, not as much as I would love to have like a whole list of brands that are doing this right. Usually you'll see a post here and there, but it actually gives me an idea of doing maybe like a list and sharing it on LinkedIn in the next few days. But yeah, I do think HeyOrca is doing this really well, actually.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for the shout out. We really appreciate
Yeah, of
that.
course. Credit where credit is due.
That is amazing. But yeah, we are now up on time, but we can reshare Bruna's LinkedIn in the chat. So if you want to ask her any questions that you have about this presentation, definitely go connect with her. And yes, thank you so much for joining us. There's a lot of people writing that they really enjoyed this webinar. So thank you so much.
Lee, I'm
And
so sorry. You're a travel agency. Yes, I do not think the thing is dead. I do like travel agencies. I would love to work with the travel agency. But it's just it was funny to me, because I haven't stopped to think about like, oh, there's still travel agencies out there. But please send me the questions you have on LinkedIn for sure. I'm very open to talk there. Please don't be shy. I am not shy, as you can see. I talk a lot, and feel free. I always up to sharing the knowledge. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for having me, and sorry for bursting the time that we have.
oh, no, you're good. You're good. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing so much information with us. It was amazing. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.